Music has always been a part of my life. My mother played, my grandfather started as a boy soprano singing in Toronto, and many family gatherings were spent around my grandmother's player organ. As a child, music made me smile. It gave me joy. It was a friend when I was lonely. It lifted my spirits when I was sad. I loved to listen to music, playing pieces over and over again until I knew all the words. Then I would learn the rhythms and pretend that I was the conductor. I started singing in church choirs when I was 4. I learned to read music when I was 7. In high school, I started out playing the clarinet and then moved to vocal music. I was a very shy student. Hard to believe for some of you, I'm sure. Singing in school choirs and performing in musicals helped me to move outside my comfort zone. I gained confidence and met some amazing people. Throughout my years in teaching, there were many choirs and musicals. I watched children's faces light up. Music brought them joy, as it had me in my youth. As time went on, I discovered that music had other sides. I had a student whose memory was very limited. What she learned one day, she more often could not remember the next day. She loved music, though. She wanted to join our Kadai choir. I was hesitant, as she would need to learn 12 to 15 very challenging pieces of music, and I was worried that she would have difficulty. She came every rehearsal, and after school, some of the other students would work with her at her home. As she stood in the front row of a 500-student choir at the center in the square, never missing a note or a word, I realized that music had the ability to stimulate memory. Another year, I had a student with Asperger's syndrome. Large crowds were very difficult for her to manage, but she insisted on joining the Kadai choir that year. The first large rehearsal we had, she disappeared under the chairs and ended up hiding under the benches in the girls' change room. I wasn't sure this was for her. She insisted it was. She made it through the concert and afterward told me it was the best time she had ever had. Music helped her to find the courage to set aside her fears of large crowds. I have spent the majority of my life involved in music, both secular and sacred. Church and church music has been very important to me. As time passes, I have come to reflect on what it is that draws me here every week. The people, the spoken word, the quiet from the hectic daily routine are part of it, but it's the music that has the strongest pull. One day, several years ago, I lost 2 very important people in my life in the same week. I found myself lost. I went out on my deck in the quiet of the morning and began singing On Eagle's Wings. At that moment, 2 large birds took flight, and a feeling of calm came over me. I knew in that instant that all was well, and they were safely home. Music has become part of my spirit. It is in my soul. It is my way of communion with God.